Hello everyone and welcome to Cinderful Gaming. In today's video we're going to look at getting started with the Wadrun in Conquest the Last Argument of Kings, using the factions half of the new 2-player starting set as a starting point. Big thanks to Parabellum Wargames today, who have made this video possible with their fantastic support. They've given us a discount affiliate code to use, which will get you 10% off your purchases from the Parabellum Wargames e-store, and also go a long way to help supporting the channel while you grab that discount for yourself as well. And so, to begin with, the Wadrun side of the 2-player starter set is led by a Wing Lord Predator. This is a Predator mounted atop one of the Coatl. Now, you can also build this model as just a single Coatl. I do recommend building it so the Predator is able to be taken off and you can use it as either version when you're playing your games. So, for the purpose of this, we are going to build it as the character version. And this model has a supremacy ability called Thrill of the Kill. When an enemy regiment's destroyed, immediately add a chant marker to the cult in the sequence of your army's warlord's cult, and should the destroyed enemy regiment be in range of an objective zone, you can instead add 2, a pretty cool ability that really powers up your army. So if this thing can get something killed, generally it's going to have added all 3, and it's going to allow the next unit to potentially chant automatically. Now, we've then got a bunch of special rules on here, things like Cleave to get through some armor, Fluid Formation to allow some free reforms either before or after our first or last activation, Fly, of course, allowing us to ignore any models that might be in the way, and terrain as well. Impact 6 is nice as well, we do some damage as we come in. And they've got things like Death from Above, where the regiment gains Brutal Impact 2 until the end of the round when performing a charge on an enemy's flank or rear. And then we've also got things like Mounted Hunters, where we can actually get a free volley action while we're moving the regiment as well. Now we do have that volley action there, and Barrow 6 at 14-inch range with armor piercing as well to ignore a little bit of armor there. We've got our own specific chant as well, where you can chant this battle cry called Predatory Shriek, but it's getting 3 chant markers of any cult and any combination from the sequence, and then this regiment gains the terrifying +1 special rule until the end of round. A cool little ability, especially if you are getting that flank charge off, a nice way to sort of combine with it. The first of our units here are the Hunting Pack. Now this is a very minor sort of unit for the Wadrun. They're just a bunch of goodest of dino boys in a unit. They do have rules like Fluid Formation, once again allowing you some free reforms. Irregular will mean that they don't affect friendly or enemy reinforcement lines, but things like Opportunist means a stand with a special rule can reroll failed hits when performing clashes or volleys, in this case just clashes, in an enemy's flank or rear. They've also got rules like Swarm as well, where stands in this regiment count as being size 1 and can't chant the battle cry, though they do add chant markers as per normal. So cool way to get those chant markers in to your sort of line of chants, but they're not going to actually chant it, so that can be a cool little thing to use. Lastly, in the initial box, we get a unit of Raptor Riders. These are pretty solid fighters with 5 attacks each. They do get flurries there to re-roll those attacks, and Mounted Hunters, like the Mounted Predator we have, will allow us to make a ranged attack as a free action during our activation, which is pretty cool. That ranged attack is Barrows 2, 12-inch range, and has armor piercing on it as well. Other than that, they've got other special rules: Unstoppable for re-rolls to charge, and Shock as well, where when this regiment performs a charge, stands in the regiment with the special rule, add +1 to the clash as well, so pretty cool ability to have. Now, where to go next, and something I think this initial box set really puts down is the dinosaur part of the army. It is a big part of why you want to collect Wadrun. They're orcs riding dinos. What's not cool about that? And so the Thunder Chieftain for me is an excellent other hero to add. First of all, this model is just pretty powerful, especially with the unit we're going to throw them in. Hint, hint, it's probably going to be Thunders. But Brutal Impact 2 with Cleave 2 and Impact 4 means this model can really deal some damage, especially with 6 attacks in melee. Trample as well is really nice, meaning you actually get some additional hits on this unit after its attacks as well. Now, you've got Linebreaker as well, which can stop your enemy being able to use shields and a lot of the defensive abilities like Bastion. And you've also got Ride the Lightning, where Thunder Rider regiments in this warband will gain the flank special rule, allowing them to come on the table pretty much automatically. And speaking of Thunder Riders, they're of course where we're going to go next if we have a Thunder Chieftain. They're a very solid unit with a lot of similar rules to the Chieftain, like Brutal Impact 2, Impact 4, Thundering Charge is there as well. This allows, should the regiment perform a march action immediately followed by a charge, they gain Brutal Impact +1, so if you're not actually getting to attack with them, they still can get pretty decent damage through. Line breakers there, trample 2, they've got shock, and of course they'll have the flank special rule thanks to that Thunder Chieftain. And so another thing we're going to look to add is of course just some more hunting packs. We don't have an awful lot of points, and this is another unit we can throw into our Winglord Predators regiment just to get us another unit on the table, but also no way to make sure we are getting those chants on the units of like the Raptor Riders, the Thunder Riders, or the Winglord Predator when and where we want it to. And so for our Wadrun list today, our first warband is actually going to have our Thunder Chieftain in it. This model is going to be our Warlord. I feel it's just a much tougher option and more survivable. It doesn't give up as many victory points potentially as the other model might, the Winglord Predator. The Thunder Rider Chieftain then in its regiment will have Thunder Riders. And we're going to have all these models be from the Cult of Conquest. Meanwhile, Warband 2 will have our Winglord Predator leading it. And then for units and regiments inside of the warband, we'll have 2 units of hunting pack and a unit of Raptor Riders as well, rounding out our force. We hope that this video was helpful in getting you started with Conquest: The Last Argument of Kings, and that it was able to give you some ideas and inspiration to start your own force in the game. If you have any other questions at all, please comment down below. And while you're there, don't forget to drop a like, subscribe, and join our Discord server to check out all our future Conquest: The Last Argument of Kings content.